Within you, there is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time and be yourself. Welcome to MindForge, the place where we build stronger minds. That quote from Hermann Hesse beautifully captures a profound truth, that amidst the chaos of our external world, and often the chaos within our own heads, lies a potential for deep stillness, a sanctuary. But how many of us truly access that sanctuary regularly? For many, the mind feels more like a noisy, crowded marketplace than a peaceful retreat. We're talking about overthinking, that relentless loop of rumination, worry, and analysis paralysis that can hijack our peace, productivity, and joy. In today's hyper-connected, information-saturated world, the tendency to overthink is amplified. Constant notifications, endless choices, and societal pressures create a fertile ground for our minds to spin out of control. But what if I told you that you could forge a tool, a mental mechanism to consciously quiet that noise and cultivate a state of focused calm? That's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to deconstruct overthinking and then build, piece by piece, what I call the Stillness Switch, a practical framework designed to help you silence mental chatter, find clarity, and forge an unbreakable focus. This isn't about suppressing thoughts, it's about transforming your relationship with them. So, if you're ready to forge a more resilient and clear mind, let's begin. Before we can build our stillness switch, we need to understand the machinery we're working with, the overthinking machine in our minds. It's crucial to distinguish between productive problem-solving or thoughtful reflection and detrimental overthinking. Productive thinking is solution-focused, moves towards a goal, and often leads to clarity or action. Overthinking or rumination is repetitive, often negative, and circular. It's like a hamster wheel for the mind. Lots of activity, but no forward movement. It dwells on problems, past mistakes, or future anxieties without generating solutions. We'll look at common forms, what-if scenarios, replaying past conversations, catastrophizing, indecisiveness due to overanalysis. Anxiety and fear. Overthinking is often a coping mechanism for anxiety. The mind tries to think its way out of uncertainty or perceived threats. Perfectionism. The desire to make the perfect decision or avoid any mistakes can lead to endless analysis. Fear of uncertainty, need for control. Life is inherently uncertain. Overthinking can be a misguided attempt to gain control by mentally rehearsing every possibility. Past experiences. Negative past experiences can wire us to anticipate future problems, leading to hypervigilance and rumination. Which of these routes resonates most with your experience of overthinking? The default mode network. This network is active when we're not focused on a specific external task, when our minds wander, daydream, or ruminate. In chronic overthinkers, the DMN can be overactive or dysregulated. It's the brain's idle mode, but for some, idle means stuck in a loop. The prefrontal cortex, our executive function center, responsible for planning, decision-making, and emotional regulation. Stress and chronic overthinking can impair PFC function, making it harder to break out of those mental loops. Adrenaline and cortisol can effectively hijack the PFC, leaving more primitive, reactive brain areas in charge. We're essentially strengthening neural pathways for worry every time we indulge in it. The good news? Neuroplasticity means we can forge new, healthier pathways. Mental fatigue and burnout. Constant mental churning is exhausting. Decision paralysis. Overanalyzing options can lead to an inability to choose. Emotional drain. increased anxiety, stress, irritability, and even depression. Reduced productivity and focus. It's hard to concentrate on the present when your mind is elsewhere. Strained relationships. Overthinking can lead to misinterpretations and unnecessary conflict. Missed opportunities. Fear and indecision keep us from taking valuable risks or seizing chances. Understanding these mechanics isn't about blaming ourselves, it's about empowering ourselves. By knowing how the machine works, we can learn how to operate it more effectively. Now, let's look at some timeless wisdom that can provide an anchor in this mental storm. For millennia, philosophers have grappled with the nature of the human mind and the pursuit of tranquility. Their insights offer powerful anchors to help us cultivate mental stillness. Focus your energy only on what you can control, your thoughts, judgments, responses, actions, and practice acceptance for what you cannot, external events, other people's actions, outcomes. Overthinking often stems from trying to control the uncontrollable. Stoicism teaches us to redirect that mental energy inward. Marcus Aurelius spoke of building an inner fortress of resilience and calm, unshakable by external turmoil. This is built through rational thought and virtuous action. Briefly imagining potential negative outcomes, not to dwell on them, but to A. Prepare mentally and reduce their shock if they occur, and B. Appreciate what you have now when things don't go wrong. This can counterintuitively reduce anxiety about the future. Paying attention on purpose to the present moment without judgment. Overthinking yanks us into the past, regret, rumination, or the future, anxiety, what-ifs. Mindfulness brings us back to the now, the only place where life actually happens. Mindfulness teaches us to see thoughts as transient mental events, like clouds passing in the sky, rather than identifying with them or believing them unquestioningly. This creates crucial psychological distance. Non-attachment. Letting go of the need for things to be a certain way, reducing the mental struggle that fuels overthinking. Focus on the sensation of your breath, the rise and fall. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back. We are free to choose our responses and actions, even in the face of an absurd or uncertain world. With this freedom comes responsibility. Overthinking can be a way to avoid taking action, to stay in the safety of thought. Existentialism encourages us to embrace the inherent uncertainty of life and act anyway. Action as now. Let's integrate these insights into a concrete framework, the Stillness Switch. The Stillness Switch is a 3-step mental tool you can forge and deploy whenever you find yourself caught in the grip of overthinking. Think of it as detect, disconnect, redirect. The goal: to become aware that you're overthinking as early as possible. You can't change what you don't notice. Mindful check-ins. Periodically throughout the day, pause and ask, what's going on in my mind right now? Identify the signs. Learn your personal cues for overthinking. Is it a racing heart? A feeling of mental fog? Repetitive thought patterns? Physical tension? Once you recognize it, simply label it internally. This is overthinking. This is rumination. This is anxiety talking. Studies show that simply labeling an emotion or a thought pattern can reduce its intensity by engaging the PFC and calming the amygdala. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Keep a small notebook or use a notes app. When you catch yourself overthinking, jot down the core thought/worry, the feeling associated with it. Simply logging it can create initial distance. Don't analyze it here, just acknowledge. This step is like installing a smoke detector for your mind. It alerts you to the first signs of fire, overthinking. The goal, to create psychological distance from your thoughts, realizing that you are not your thoughts. Thoughts are mental events, not necessarily truths. These are designed to change the way you interact with your thoughts, rather than changing the thoughts themselves. Instead of "I'm going to fail," reframe it as "I am having the thought that I'm going to fail." This immediately creates separation. Thanks, mind, for that interesting or catastrophic thought. Duly noted. Acknowledge it without engaging. Imagine your thoughts as leaves floating down a stream, clouds passing in the sky, words written on a screen that then fade, cars driving by. You're the observer on the sidewalk, not the driver or a passenger. Observe the thought without judgment, without getting caught up in its content, without following it down the rabbit hole. Notice its quality, its tone, then let it pass. This step is like pressing the pause button on a movie or stepping back from a painting to see the whole picture, not just one overwhelming detail. You're unhooking yourself. The goal, to consciously shift your attention and mental energy towards something more constructive, present-focused, or value-aligned. Name 5 things you can see. Name 4 things you can feel, e.g., your feet on the floor, the fabric of your clothes. Name 3 things you can hear. Name 2 things you can smell, or imagine pleasant smells. Name 1 thing you can taste, or take a sip of water and focus on the taste. This pulls you forcefully into the present moment and out of your head. Simple box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Or just focusing on the sensation of your breath. Engage fully in a task at hand, even a mundane one. Wash dishes with full attention, work on a project, read a book. Ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do right now that aligns with my values or moves me towards a meaningful goal? Then do it. This shifts from problem focus to solution action focus. If a worry persists, schedule a specific, limited time later in the day, e.g. 15 minutes at 5 p.m., to consciously think about it. When the thought arises outside that time, tell yourself, "I'll deal with this at 5 p.m., and redirect. We'll explore this more in the next chapter. This is like changing the channel on a TV, or consciously choosing which path to walk down. You are taking active control of your focus. The stillness switch. Acknowledge, detach, redirect. It's a dynamic process. You might cycle through it multiple times for a persistent thought. The key is consistent practice. Each time you use it, you're forging stronger neural pathways for calm and focus. Once you're comfortable with the basic stillness switch framework, you can integrate these more advanced tools to deepen your ability to cultivate mental quiet. When you catch yourself in a deep, unhelpful rumination loop, firmly but gently say "stop" in your mind, or even softly out loud if you're alone. Immediately follow this with a redirection technique from step 3 of the stillness switch, e.g. sensory grounding or focused breathing. For some, this can create a rebound effect if done aggressively or if it becomes another thing to get right. The key is gentle interruption followed by compassionate redirection, not forceful suppression. As mentioned, schedule a worry appointment, e.g. 15-20 minutes daily. During this time, actively write down your worries. For each worry, is this in my control? If yes, what's one small action I can take? Brainstorm solutions. If no, can I practice acceptance? Stoic principle. The goal is to contain worry to a specific period and make it more structured and solution-oriented, rather than letting it bleed into your whole day. When the time is up, consciously disengage. This isn't about catastrophizing, It's about rational preparation. Take a specific fear fueling your overthinking. Ask, what's the absolute worst that could realistically happen? How would I cope if it did? What resources do I have? What steps could I take to prevent it or mitigate its impact? Often, verbalizing or writing down the worst case makes it less terrifying and more manageable. You realize you could handle it. This reduces the fear driving the overthinking. Our mental state is profoundly linked to our physical state. Regular physical activity, even a brisk walk, releases endorphins, reduces cortisol, and can act as a pattern interrupt for rumination. It also improves PFC function. Spending time in nature has been shown to reduce DMN activity associated with rumination and improve mood and focus. Lack of sleep exacerbates overthinking and emotional reactivity. Prioritize consistent, quality sleep. A well-nourished and hydrated brain.
Let's look at how to wield the stillness switch in common, challenging situations, and how to make it a deeply ingrained habit. I'm feeling anxious and thinking about everything that could go wrong. Detach. These are just thoughts, not predictions. I've prepared. Visualize past successes. Redirect. Focus on your breath. Do a quick sensory grounding, review your opening lines. I'm stuck in analysis paralysis, replaying options endlessly. Detach. My mind is trying to find a perfect answer that may not exist. These are just possibilities. Redirect. Set a timer for focused decision-making using constructive worry principles, then commit to the best option with available info. Or take a break and engage in a completely different activity to clear your head. I'm feeling defensive/angry and replaying what they said. My emotional brain is activated. These are reactive thoughts. Redirect. Focus on listening to understand, not just to reply. Take a calming breath before speaking. Use I statements. If overwhelmed, ask for a brief pause. My mind is racing with thoughts from the day or worries about tomorrow. Detach. These are just thoughts. The day is done. Now is for rest. Visualize thoughts as sheep jumping a fence, or use the leaves on a stream technique. Redirect. Focus intensely on the physical sensation of your breath. Listen to a calming sleep meditation, or get out of bed for 15 minutes and do a quiet, non-stimulating activity until you feel sleepy again. Then return to bed. Start small. Don't try to eliminate all overthinking overnight. Aim to catch and redirect one overthinking loop per day. Consistency over intensity. Short, regular practice is more effective than occasional heroic efforts. Be patient and compassionate. You'll slip up. The mind has old habits. When you notice you've been caught in a loop for a while, don't beat yourself up. Just re-engage the stillness switch. That is the practice. Journal/reflect. Briefly note when you successfully used the switch and how it felt. This reinforces the positive behavior. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge your progress. This isn't just about feeling less stressed. It's about unlocking higher cognitive functions. Increased clarity. A quieter mind sees solutions more clearly. Better decision-making. Less emotional hijacking, more rational thought. Enhanced creativity. Stillness creates space for new ideas to emerge. Improved emotional regulation. Greater ability to choose your responses. Deeper resilience. Better equipped to handle life's inevitable challenges. Greater presence and joy. More able to appreciate the present moment. Forging mental stillness is an ongoing journey, a skill that strengthens with every conscious application. It's one of the most powerful ways to build true mental resilience and enhance the quality of your life. We've covered a lot of ground today on MindForge. We've deconstructed the overthinking machine, drawn wisdom from ancient philosophy, and most importantly, we forged the Stillness Switch, your 3-step blueprint: acknowledge, detach, and redirect. Remember, overthinking is a common human experience, especially in our demanding world. But it doesn't have to dictate your mental landscape. You have the power to interrupt those cycles, to cultivate moments of profound quiet, and to redirect your incredible mental energy towards what truly matters. The transformation we're talking about is If you found value in these tools and want to continue building your mental toolkit with practical insights from psychology, neuroscience, and philosophy, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Thank you for joining me on MindForge. Go forth, apply these principles, and forge the stillness within. I'll see you in the next one.